Hey everyone, welcome to Daily IoT. I've taken a little bit of a break, but we're back on. I want to get these things out. It's not going to be daily, but I'd love to do these 2 or 3 times a week. But I've been super head down on the Internet of Things button. And so I'm going to start with an update on that, and then we'll talk about some other things. But if you recall from previous episodes, I sort of had this breadboarded version of the button, just using a particle photon. I've always wanted to 3D print something, and so I decided to try and design a case to put it in with AAA batteries and a button and the whole deal. And first endeavor into 3D printing. First of all, I just want to comment on this, that the realm of IoT is massive. There are so many areas that you could get into. 3D printing is not super IoT, but you know, I'm going to show it in a minute here, the button, it's in a box, 3D printing. And so I got into that. I just got started. I had a friend that recommended some software, 123D Design, and went through a bunch of iterations. I mean, I got these cases I've been printing out for days here, like that weren't working out, the dimensions were off. It's a lot of trial and error, but eventually got to a case that I could fit my batteries in. I bought a headerless photon that's in here, and the button just comes up top, and then you click it. I don't know if you can see the light flashing on there. It connects out to Rahul's service on the internet and logs a click in UbiDots. And so I'm super pumped about this. Like I set out, again, this is such a simple project that you might think is dumb, but I set out, I wanted an Amazon IoT button. I couldn't get one. They were on back order until August, and you had to be a member of Prime. Didn't want to do that, so I said I was going to make one, and here we are. Was it July 26th? I have one in a case under battery power. I could put this anywhere in my house and press it, and it talks to the internet, which is awesome. Like I love it so much. Anyway, update on that. I can't stress enough. If you want to get into this, find a project and just start hammering on it. I got into a real bad way with this 3D printing. It got super frustrating. It got super hard. I am not a designer in laying parts out, but you know, it worked. It ended up working. I even figured out a way to get the back to snap on so I could pull it off and change the batteries. So anyway, just a ton of fun. Highly recommend finding a project. Okay, enough about that. Let's get into some IoT information of the day. And what I wanted to talk about real quick is batteries. Oh man, I think my camera just turned off. Okay, sorry about the break there. My SD card weirded out on me, so I had to reformat it. So anyway, what we're gonna talk about real quick today are batteries. We're not gonna go deep. Daily IoT is not about going deep on topics. But I was at Radio Shack. I needed one of these coin cell batteries for a real-time clock project that I'm working on. And I knew that I could use 2 model numbers based on the holder that's on the board that I'm playing with. And it was the CR1216 or the CR1225. Now, I went in, Radio Shack said they had both of them, so I went in and I talked to the guy. I said, I need one of these 2. And I said, I'm not sure what the difference is. Maybe they're different capacities. And he pulled them up and he put them on the counter and he showed me both of them and he said, oh no, they're not different capacities. They both say 3 volts, which, you know, I'm not trying to bash on Radio Shack, but that is a false understanding that a lot of people have. They think that voltage is capacity in batteries, and it's not. And so really quick, what I want to cover is the difference between the voltage of a battery and the capacity of a battery. And this is really simple. The capacity of a battery is just how long it will last in your camera, in your remote control car, in whatever. And that is measured in something called amp hours, or in devices like electronics, it's going to be in milliamp hours, meaning if you draw a certain number of milliamps, how many hours will the battery last? Now, voltage, I don't want to get into the difference between voltage and current. It gets pretty deep, actually, but voltage is just, you know, your camera's going to run at probably 3 volts. The Intel Edison, for example, back here, this thing runs at 1.8 volts. An Arduino runs at 5 volts. Those are just different. Anybody that knows this, don't ding me on this. These are just different power levels, different amounts of oomph that a device needs to run. However, the amount of current it draws is sort of the amount of juice that it takes from the batteries. And so that's the capacity. So on these are, if you look at these really close, you take them out of the box, one of them is thicker than the other. And that one's just gonna have a higher capacity, a higher milliamp hour rating, meaning it will last longer in your end application. And so if you ever, for those old school people out there, you have AAA and AA, and then C batteries and D batteries. They get bigger and bigger, those D big old fatties. Those are all 1.5 volt batteries, meaning if you put a meter across them and measure voltage, you will see 1.5 volts. However, a D battery has a much higher capacity than a AAA battery. And that's it, that's the difference. So when you see voltages, don't think, oh, let me get a 9 volt battery as opposed to a 1.5 volt battery because it'll have more capacity. The voltage has nothing to do with capacity. And in fact, on a lot of those little batteries, like AA's and AAA's, they won't even have the capacity listed on them. I can't remember what they are. I think they're around, you know what, I don't want to misquote it. I'll link up a thing below that shows you what the average milliamp hour rating is on like a AA battery, just so you know. But anyway, that's the difference, talking about voltage versus capacity on a battery. If you have any questions about that, deeper questions, just stick them down in the comments. I'd be happy to hop in and answer those. Another item I wanted to cover really quick today is I've been thinking a ton about sort of the direction that I want to take Daily IoT. And I like the little bits of news. I don't have any news today to share, but I like throwing those in and covering those items that pop up from day to day and from time to time. And so I'm going to keep doing those. I'm going to keep sort of doing project updates, but I want to focus in. So I've got so many platforms here. I've got Onion Omega, Tesla, Arduino, Intel Edison. I've got the Electron over here. I haven't opened chips. I just got chips a couple weeks ago that I haven't even opened up. And there's just not enough time in the day to play with all of them. And I really want to provide more value, like going deep on something. And so what I want to do is I'm going to focus on the Onion Omega for the next little while. And I'm going to do a lot of content. I'm going to make more YouTube videos. I'm going to start doing some behind the scenes Snapchat stuff that when I'm ready, I'll put up my handle. Anybody that wants to follow on that and reach out. Twitter, as always, you can find me there. But I just want to do more of a focus on Onion Omega just for the next little while, to go deep on it, provide a lot of insight and value just from being a practitioner on the platform. I think the thing that bothers me the most in Internet of Things and all these websites of people that want to recommend things is that they're all just spec readers. They see the different specs between different platforms, or they see what other people have done, and they talk about it like they know, but they don't. And I don't want to be that person. I want to actually know deep on each platform. And I've played a lot with a lot of these things. I consider myself fairly proficient in things like Arduino, Particle, Omega. I've done a lot of content, but I want to go that extra layer deep. So anyway, that's just a heads up, kind of what we're going to be, you'll see more of on the channel. I hope that provides value to you guys. And if there's something specific that you'd like to see, like a project to integrate with, at the end of the day, this is Internet of Things. The platform is just one piece. There's lots of cloud services. If you have something that you'd like to see integrated, send me an email, hit me up on Twitter or in the comments on the YouTube channel here, and let me know. I'd be happy to try and make some custom content that would be valuable to you guys. Anyway, I don't want this video to go much longer. I think I've said enough. I hope everybody has an awesome week. I think we'll get another episode in this week for sure, at least one more. And so hope everybody has an awesome week. And until next time, happy hacking.